we're going to start in a cross-legged position today. If this doesn't suit your knees or your hips, feel free to either come to a kneeling position or you can have both legs lengthened out ahead of you. We're going to sit up nice and tall if we can, so that our ribs are stacked directly over our hips and our shoulders directly over our rib cage. Hands are going to rest onto the ribs, closing down the eyes and just focusing on your breathing. So as you inhale, see if you can really allow your rib cage to widen into your hands. And as you exhale, allowing the rib cage to narrow. Inhale, rib cage widens. Exhale to narrow. And as the breath meets the bottom of your lungs, allow it to fill the lungs forward, back, out to the sides. So we're not only just feeling through the sides of the body. And then exhaling to center. Keeping the same awareness to your breath, you can just allow your hands to rest down onto both knees. Inhale to sit a little taller, and as you exhale, you're going to tilt your tailbone just slightly under, allowing your lower back to round. And as you inhale, sitting up as tall as you can, tailbone sent back behind you, chest slightly forward. Exhale, tucking tailbone under. And then inhale, sending tailbone back, chest forward. Hands can rest palms down on the knees. You can continue with this one, or you can start to bring in a little bit of side movement. So you're going to circle to the left, come forward, over to the right, and then switch sides. So rather than going in one continuous circle, once you find your center, you're going back the way you came. We'll go for two more just like this, really still focusing on your breath. And then find a centered position and hold. From here, slowly, hands rest onto your mat and you're going to come forward into an all fours position. Hands rest underneath the shoulders, knees directly underneath the hips. And as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under, round your spine and look towards your thighs. Inhale, tailbone reaches up towards the ceiling, chest shines forward and up through your arms. Exhaling, tucking tailbone under and rounding. And really focus on moving each vertebrae as you move through this one. So it's not just about the stomach dropping and rising. It starts at the tailbone. It's a really fluid movement from tailbone to crown of head. And then find your center. Once you've found your center, knees as wide as the mat, sit your bum back towards your heels. Stretch your arms a little further out ahead of you and allow your chest to melt down towards the floor. Forehead can rest heavy on the mat. And try to focus on the breath meeting the back of the body here. So as you inhale, can you widen the back of your rib cage? Can you send the back of the ribs slightly up towards the ceiling? And then as you exhale, just allow your body to melt a little deeper. From our child's pose, walk your hands just slightly closer towards you. Bring your knees a little closer together. Tuck your toes under. Send your hips back towards your heels and then see if you can lift your knees up and off the mat, finding your first downward dog. Heels can stay lifted and you can start to gently pedal out the feet. If it feels nicer for you today to just hold stillness, hold that stillness. But same awareness, same intention to breath. We'll find stillness, and once we've found it, we'll slowly walk our feet up towards our hands, bringing as much of a bend into our knees as we need to. Dropping even heavier into your forward fold at the top. Again, a deep bend if it feels good. Maybe holding on to alternate elbows here, and just taking a little rock, a little sway from side to side. Drop both fingertips heavy. Take a nice deep breath in at the bottom. And as you exhale, slowly stack your spine up. As shoulders come up, they roll back. Inhale to float both arms up. Left hand hold your right wrist. You can stay where you are. I'm going to turn to face you. You're going to lean to the left, opening up through that right rib cage. Take a nice deep breath in here. Exhale back to center. Switch the clasp, lean to the right. Breathing nice and deeply. Exhale, center. Clasp both hands, palm to the roof. Grow as tall as you can as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, arms are going to relax down by your sides. We're going to grind down through big toe, baby toe, and heel. And then from here, inhale to float both arms straight up overhead. As you exhale, slowly, slowly hinge at the hips and drop your fingertips down towards your toes. Again, as much of a bend here as you need. As you inhale, slide your fingertips halfway up your shins, lengthening your spine. And as you exhale, drop fingertips all the way back down towards the floor, finding your forward fold. Palms of the hands meet the floor. From here, you're going to step your left foot back, followed by right foot stepping back, finding plank. Today's a nice chilled one, so we're going to lower our knees down to the mat. Taking this variation of chaturanga is what it's called, but I'll explain it for you. So pubic bone lifts towards belly button from your half plank position. From here, your elbows bend back in towards your ribs as you lower all the way down to the mat. Once you're on the mat, you can walk your hands slightly forward so that you're directly underneath your shoulders. And your next inhale sends your chest forward, which rises it off the mat. This is baby cobra. Exhale to lower back down. Slowly, slowly make your way back to an all fours position. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. And this is your downward dog. And again, if it's not feeling good, bring a bend into both knees. If it's not feeling good at all, child's pose is absolutely perfect. From here, we're going to walk forward towards our hands. Finding that forward fold, hanging heavy in forward fold. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, slowly, slowly stack your spine up. Shoulders roll up, shoulders roll back. Inhale, reach both arms up. And as you exhale, I want you to sit back as if there's a chair behind you. Feet are hip distance apart, but of course if you want big toes parallel, you do want big toes parallel, but you might want your big toes to meet. You're reaching up, trying to keep your knees back so you can still see your toes. Hold and breathe here. Sitting even deeper if you can. Keeping the chest open, the collarbones wide. And then your next exhale, fold you forward, fingertips down to the mat. Inhale to lift halfway, so hands slide up your shins. Exhale to drop all the way down into your forward fold. Slowly, slowly step your right foot back, followed by your left foot back. Lower both knees down to the mat. Bend your elbows in towards your sides and lower the whole body down. Walk fingertips slightly forward, and as you inhale, chest lifts. And as you exhale, lower down. Slowly, slowly push it back to all fours. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, downward dog. From this downward dog, we're going to float our right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend our right knee in towards, just standing right foot down between our hands. Left toes turn to the left, left heel meets the mat. Inhale, both arms float forward and up. Warrior one. Exhale to fold. Spin left foot back to center. Step your right foot back, full plank. You can stick with your full plank or you can lower both knees down to the mat. Bend both elbows in towards your sides. Lower all the way down. And as you inhale, chest comes forward. Exhale to lower. Slowly, slowly push back to all fours. Tuck toes, lift knees, downward dog. From here, left foot's going to lift up towards the ceiling. Left knee bends in towards you. Stand left foot between your hands. Right toes turn to the right. Inhale, both arms reach up. And this is your warrior one. Left knee stays opening slightly towards the left side of the foot. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Exhale to fold. Spin right foot to center. Step left foot back, full plank. From your full plank, you're going to drop both knees down to the mat. Bend both elbows in. Inhale, chest forward. Exhale, push it back to all fours. Tuck your toes. Lift your knees and we'll hold this downward dog for 5 deep breaths. Slowly, slowly, you're going to walk your feet forward towards your wrists. Sit your bum back as if there's a chair behind you. Inhale to float both arms up. Hold and breathe here. Sitting back a little deeper if you can. And then exhale to stand all the way up. You can stay exactly as you are. I'm going to turn around to face you. And we're going to come into a movement called tree. It's a balancing posture. So you're really going to root down into your right foot. So think right big toe, baby toe and heel. Come up onto your left tippy toes and turn the sole of the left foot to face in towards your right ankle. You can stay here, or you can slide your left foot up onto your calf. If you want to go further, you can step it up onto the inside of your right thigh. Just make sure it's not on your knee. I'll try that again. So once the foot is pushing in against the thigh, hands can come into a prayer position. You can stay here. We're going to stay here for 5 breaths, or reach both arms up towards the ceiling. Find a point on the floor or the wall that isn't moving. In yoga, we call this a drishti. And we're just breathing. Shoulders down and away from the ears. Nearly there. And slowly, slowly send your left knee forward, stand your left foot down onto the floor, relax your arms, grind down into that left foot, lift up onto right tippy toes. Turn the sole of your right foot to face towards left ankle. Option to stay here, option to move the foot up onto the calf. Option to stay here or come all the way up, resting your right foot onto inner thigh. Just make sure again that you are not resting your right foot on your knee, it's not safe for your knee. And then you can stay as you are, super wobbly today. Or you can bring your hands into prayer. Or you can float both arms up towards the ceiling. Arms a little wider than shoulder distance. Shoulders dropping away from the ear, collarbones wide. And we find that drishti, so that point again, floor or wall that is not moving. And then slowly, slowly bring your right foot forward. Stand your right foot down. Allow your arms to rest down by your sides. And then I want you to step your feet so that they're as wide as your mat. From here, hands are going to come to prayer. Don't be afraid to use your hands if you need to here. We're going to bend our knees out wide to the sides. And we're going to slowly, slowly sink our hips towards the mat, finding what's called malasana. So it's like a really, really deep squat. I want you to keep connected to the baby toe side of the foot, which will keep your arch lifted. Keep sending your knees away and just hold and breathe. You can use your elbows here to send your knees a little wider, but your main focus is on keeping your chest nice and open and taking deeper breaths. And then slowly, slowly, see if you can land your sit bones down onto the mat. If you need to use your hands, you can. You can walk your feet together. And with feet together, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Allow the knees to fall out wide. Hands can rest on your feet. You're sitting up as tall as you can. I don't have enough space, I'm going to turn sideways. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, you're just going to melt forward. Hands can hold onto the feet. Or you can start to walk your hands out ahead of you, melting your chest down towards the floor, allowing your forehead to rest down. Try to find as much length through the spine as possible, so keep the collarbones wide. Keep reaching the tailbone back behind you as the crown of the head reaches forward and melts down. Slowly, slowly, hands walk back towards you. Draw the knees together. So with the knees together, we're going to sit up as tall as we can. We're going to float our left leg into a tabletop position. You can even catch hold of the back of the left leg. Right leg into tabletop, catching hold of the back of the right. You can play around with lifting and lowering one foot if you find it really challenging to stay here, or you can just stay exactly as you are. If you do want to go a little further, you can reach your fingertips towards the ankles, open your chest, take a deep breath in. On the exhale, and again, you can hold your legs here if you need to. You're going to start to lengthen your legs out as you slowly melt yourself back towards the mat and rest your legs down. Start to walk your feet in towards your sit bones. Arms rest beside the sides. Palms of the hands face down. Inhaling, you're going to roll your hips away from your body, so down towards your heels. And as you exhale, you'll roll your hips back towards you. Lift the back of your hips up and off the mat and slowly rise up into your bridge. Keep reaching thigh bones forward. And we're just going to hold and breathe our bridge. 5 breaths. And then slowly peel your spine all the way down onto the mat. Once your pelvis has met the mat, I want you to bring your left knee in towards your left armpit. Hold the sole of your left foot with either you can hold onto the outside or the inside of the foot, or hook your big toe. I like outside toes, freak me out. You're dropping your left knee in towards left armpit, and it's almost like you're trying to stand the sole of the left foot up onto the ceiling. And then from here, you're going to do the same. Right knee hugs in towards right armpit. Right hand holds the outside of the right foot. The soles of the feet are reaching to the ceiling, and you're trying to slightly drop your pelvis away from your body. And this is our happy baby. You can stay still and steady, really allowing that release to happen in the hips, or if it's feeling good, maybe a little rock from side to side, just to release out that lower back. But the same awareness to the breath that we created at the very start of class. And then slowly you can draw your knees together. Allow your feet to lower down to the floor. Arms are going to fall out wide. Walk your hips over to the right side of the mat. Allow the knees to fall to the left. Look over your right shoulder so that the release is in the neck as well as the rest of the spine. Inhale to come back to center. Exhale, switching sides. And then slowly back to center. Allow both legs to reach out. Allow your arms to either rest onto your stomach or rest down by your sides. And this is your final pose of today. It's Shavasana, corpse pose. Try to stay here for at least 10 breaths. Even longer if you prefer. And that will be